Hey everyone, this is PB Geki, and I'm going to go through offense in fighting EX Layer. The first thing we'll talk about is your chains, links, and safe specials and options that you have for pressure. Generally on block, most normals that you use in fighting EX Layer are going to be minus or punishable depending on the strength or the choice of the normal. Some normals can be plus, but only slightly for heavy buttons or certain normals like sweeps. Using chains and certain links are going to be ways to build frame traps so that your opponent can't press a button, or if they do, you'll blow them up for doing so. Certain chains that you use for pressure dictate whether it's a true block string, whether there's a gap where the opponent can challenge, or if there's a gap where you will punish them if they try to challenge. Experiment with these normals. Whether standing or crouching and hit or block, your normals and some of your specials will change frame data depending on the state that you're hitting your opponent. Even if something is safe on block, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be safe on standing block. Here's Hokuto for an example. For quarter circle forward punch Rekka is -1 on block, but if you're crouching, it's +1. Now let's see your crouch block. Be wary of this. 6 chain is a special gogi that allows you to break the rules of chains in this game. You can use it to add 6 normals instead of the traditional 3 to your chains, and you can also still add a unique attack, allowing you to make it so 7 possible normals for the opponent to block or take the hit from. Some characters have safe specials on block, and some like Garuda are actually plus, enough to keep pressure and further set up more pressure and offense. Some characters actually have safe sweeps, and some of them are actually +1. Some characters also have unique attacks that are also safe, and can be used in addition to some normals that are unsafe, and you use the unique attack to then make yourself safe and unable to be punished. Let's talk about whiff punish setups. Aside from the common situations where you can set up whiff punishes by hitting a button at the opponent, having them block it, and then you walking back and whiff punishing, Vexa has a unique twist on it as well. Running into whiff punish normal is very important in this game. Get used to it and practice your whiff punish setups after a run. Learning your meaty setups are important too. It's a little harder, but it's a little bit easier in some ways too. Basically in that there's only 2 ways to get up in this game, only with a delay rise or a back roll recovery. There are 2 very different gaps, but you can use things to cover most of the options. A situation where they can only delay rise or cause a hard knockdown is from throws and certain other supers. Safe jumps are also a thing too. Tick throws are very important in this game as they open you up quite well. You just need to learn the spacing and uses of the normals to make sure your tick throw setups are strong. Shimmying is an integral part of fighting EX Layer's offense and defense. Conditioning people to fear the throw in fighting EX Layer is a big deal. Make sure you get good at doing this. Throws have a lot of recovery in fighting EX Layer. This is why. There are a few ways to shimmy in this game. You can use chains to set up shimmies. You can use a button. A common way that's a bit easier is you can also use neutral jump. Make sure your corner pressure is strong and tight. When your opponent is in the corner, if their back is completely to the wall and you try to jump over them, you are unable to. They have to inch forward a little bit so there's room behind them so you can jump over. This makes corner pressure extremely scary and makes you focus more on the throw game, the air approach, and the empty lows. I hope you guys learned something about offense today in fighting EX Lair. Let me know if there's anything I missed or anything you want to see in the future. Thanks and take care, and be kind to one another.